When I first started seeing video reviews referring to Roguelite and Bullethell type games, I didn't really know what they were. In fact, my initial reaction was that I was pretty sure that I wasn't going to like them. They are pretty much the complete opposite of what my usual favorite genres are, which are MMORPGs, RPGs, ARPGs, and the like. Generally, I prefer turn-based games as well, so I can stop and think out my next move and strategize. Whereas the games we will be discussing today are the polar opposite. While they maintain some facets of RPGs, the pace is much more manic and action-packed. Games that I would also refer to as popcorn games, or games that are easy to pick up and play for short times here and there, but hard to put down. With all that said, this video is going to be about 3 games that take some of the best parts of the roguelite style and merged them with bullet hell style and made something really fun to play, and they've consumed many hours of my time in 2025. These games are played in rounds. The round of play is usually defined by completing a goal, such as staying alive for 10 minutes or killing a certain amount of creatures within a time period or killing a certain number of bosses. You get the idea. If your character gets killed, then the round is over. But your progress is not lost, and I think that's one of the major parts of the game style that I like. There is a persistent progression of your character, classes, and unlockables within the game, so that each time you play, your characters continue to get stronger and stronger. Playing through rounds and meeting objectives can open up new skills, new weapons, new character classes, etc. Another thing I like about these games is that you can pause the game, go do real-life things, then come back to them when you're ready. The other style game which is merged here is called Bullet Hell, also known as Danmaku, which is Japanese for barrage or manic shooter. It's a subgenre of games characterized by an extreme amount of projectiles on the screen. What you get is rounds of play that will keep you on your toes, continually trying to navigate the maps and not get killed, while also strategizing on picking up power-ups, maintaining your life, picking the right powers and skills as you level to make the most powerful attack. These games are not for everyone, I'll admit that, and I was surprised that I really enjoyed these games. Okay, let's dive in. Let's get started with my third slot this year, is a game named Tower of Babel Survivors of Chaos. This game was released into early access in May of 2025 by Nanu, which is developer and publisher. It is currently $9.99 on Steam and is not on Good Old Games, or GOG. It's a fun roguelite take on a tower conquer game where you unlock and play various staple RPG-style classes, such as Warrior, Wizard, Brawler, and Demon Hunter. It takes the game style and tacks on things like being able to upgrade your equipment and weapons, similar to Diablo 3. The development of your characters gets pretty in-depth with skill trees to spend your gold on and improve. It's a game where one could easily spend a lot of time in to develop their playable characters. You travel through the levels of the tower, and as you climb, things get harder and harder. You progress through each level, picking up gems as you kill monsters and leveling up powers and attacks, which becomes a strategy in and of itself, finding which powers and skills work best together. Okay, on to number 2. Next up is Soulstone Survivors, which was released in June of 2025 by Gamesmithing Limited and currently is rated overwhelmingly positive on its Steam page. It's $14.99 on Steam and currently on sale on Good Old Games for $8.99. This game features more than 20 character classes in the traditional RPG tropes, such as Barbarian, Sentinel, Paladin, Necromancer, and Engineer. As you work your way through the game and complete different achievements, you open up more classes. This game features a weapon creation upgrade feature in which you use gems that you collect on your level runs to create new and higher powered weapons for your characters. Each of the weapons also changes damage type, so you need to pay attention to that as you strategize the power and attack upgrades you pick while playing. For example, if your weapon was doing extra fire damage, You would do best to pick abilities that increased your fire damage and not, say, electricity. On top of that, there's a system of runes, which as you unlock each, you can equip to improve various powers and skills, which is a complete strategy decision in and of itself. You work your way through the game, opening up new classes, completing achievements, and gradually working your way through the skill tree to make each class permanently more powerful. There are 5 different maps to work through, but each map has 7 different levels, which progressively get harder, and within each level, you can activate curses on each to make the level harder and harder. The harder you make it, the better your loot and progress received from beating that level. And finally, in my number 1 spot is frankly a game that I didn't think I would even like, as I don't tend to like zombie games or zombie shooters, those style games. But here we are. Yet Another Zombie Survivors is a game that released in July of 2023 by Awesome Games, and by their Steam page is still in early access, which I think is a trend for newer games made by smaller development teams these days. It can be had currently for $14.99 on Steam and is listed as coming soon on Good Old Games. This game jumps completely out of the standard RPG mold of the other two and brings it to a zombie horror style survivor game. The classes available are classes usually found in current first-person shooters such as SWAT, Tank, Engineer, Huntress, Medic, and Pyro. Once again, the goal is to work your way through various boards, surviving the zombie hordes while completing a long list of achievements, opening up new classes, and leveling up the vast skill trees under each character class. The strategizing is made more in-depth by featuring skills by each class that work together to produce amplified results called synergies. You start off with a single character on a board and level of difficulty of your choosing. As you progress by destroying the zombie horde, you pick up gems and power-ups to make your character stronger. As you move through the match, you rescue up to 2 more characters to join your team. The trick is to strategize which characters work the best together and pick power-ups that will benefit more than one character at a time. Boards also feature chests to unlock and find random items which benefit your team. These items are unlocked as you progress through the game, and another part of the strategizing is picking which actual items you want to be available for each round. Some items paired with some classes do absolutely no good, and vice versa. Each level is available in a variety of ways you can play it. Default is a standard mode in which you compete against the clock and try to stay alive for a set amount of time. Endurance has an unlimited timer, however it progressively gets harder, so the objective is to survive as long as possible. Hardcore is, just like it sounds, like default but much harder. However, the time is reduced that you need to survive. And finally, Extermination is a 20-round affair in which you don't need to pick up gems to level up your skills, but you need to kill off 1 round of zombies. At the end of the round, you are presented with some power-ups to choose from, and then you go into your next round, so on and so forth, with the rounds getting progressively harder, with the goal being surviving all 20 rounds. Even though this game is way outside of my usual wheelhouse of games, I've spent so much time playing it this year that it had to be in my first place. Okay, that's it for my top 3 roguelite / bullet hell games that I've played in 2025. Let me know what you think of the genre and the games themselves. All these are regularly around $15 price point, and I think well worth the money at that, but even better if you can find them on sale. Until the next one, this has been Bronze Dragon.